for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Unfazed with JJ and AJ. It's Super Bowl week. It's time to get to it, man. Y'all know the birds is in it. Almost didn't wear nothing, but y'all know I stay with my flag. Yeah, I mean, I stay with the flag. You know what I mean? If y'all can see it. Got this little thing going on in my, but y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time. Y'all know I got the flag on deck, you know. But we also had some huge trades that we gotta talk about too, Joe. Two of them involve our teams, which is crazy. NBA trade deadline been wild. So before we get into the Super Bowl preview, where we talk about my birds against the reigning and defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, we got to get to these trades first, man. Joe, De'Aaron Fox is no longer a member of the Sacramento Kings. Well, first off, before we get to that, Joe, I forgot to ask, man, how you feeling? I'm so ready to get to the Super Bowl. I ain't even asked how you feeling, man. How you feeling today, Joe?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. As you know, we NFC East rivals, as y'all can see, I got the W behind me. But AJ, I'm happy for you, my boy.
I appreciate that, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy for you, man. You in the Super Bowl, you excited. They got all these press conferences. I know you watching everything. So I know you are. You know, I was doing the same thing, so I'm happy for you. And hey, the YouTube world, I mean, the media world is blessing our show. First, they give us an NFC championship game. They like, oh, the Commanders got kicked out. They ain't got nothing to talk about. Let's go trade Fox and Luka and see I can have something to talk about with your team. So shout out to y'all for keeping my teams in the media, all right, during this week. But I'm feeling good, though. Ready to talk some sports. Let's get it.
I hear that, man. Like I said, y'all already know I'm feeling good. So, you know what I'm saying? We in the bowl. What can I say? And then the Lakers messed around and got Luka. We're going to get to that in a second. But first, the Sacramento Kings were a part of a 3-team trade that involved the Spurs, the Kings, and the Bulls. Joe, De'Aaron Fox is now a member of the San Antonio Spurs with Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings now have Zach LaVine, some guy named Sid Kisco. I apologize, bro, if that's your name. I'm trying, bro. Okay, Sidney Kisco. And 3 first-round picks. The Bulls got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and a 2025 pick. Joe, I got to ask you as a Kings fan. Man, how do you feel today? Do you like the trade? Just let us know how you feeling, man.
Man, this is, you know how I feel about my guy Fox, man. That's my dog. That's my guy, man. You know, like, first of all, I appreciate Fox, his services with the Sacramento Kings. You know, Fox, he's arguably one of the best Kings in history. You know, now he didn't have no playoff runs to like solidify being the greatest because we don't have a ring as a Sacramento Kings. So, but he is solidified as probably the best point guard in Kings history. So, and the last time we made a big trade in the middle of a season like this, it was an ugly one. It was a DeMarcus Cousins trade during All-Star week, and he didn't even know he was getting traded. And it was a bad trade. It really was. We didn't get the value back for him that we should have gotten because he was the best center in the league, in my opinion, at the time. But this trade, we kind of knew this was happening, AJ. One of the beat writers for Sacramento, they talked about Fox's last game, that it was a long bye to everybody. Like he had to wait a long time just to talk to Fox. It was extended conversations with everybody, and it was a vibe like, yeah, he about to leave. And people felt like he was checked out too. And I don't blame him for leaving. I'm not one of those mean fans like, why he want to leave? He gets disrespected every year as a King.
Yeah.
the man numbers last 2 years has been better than the starting point guard on the in the West team besides Luka. Sorry, but at least Steph been better, and he hasn't been an All-Star. And they say, "Oh, you got to win." When he was a 3rd seed, he didn't make the All-Star team. He only got there because somebody was hurt. So, like, as a king, you get overlooked. You just do. So he want to go somewhere where he got an opportunity to win, and he could be notarized better for his efforts. Playing with Wemby, he would definitely get those looks. I think it's a good fit for them. I think getting Zach LaVine is like putting a stoppage on the leak while we can see what we can do with these picks. It keeps us at least in the mix until we can upgrade our roster. And I don't think we're done, but Fox, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. I don't have much to say about De'Aaron Fox other than I feel for you, Joe. I feel for you, man. I know that was your boy. You know, I didn't expect. I'm not as in tune with the Kings as you are. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and you got. Oh man, I forgot all about that, man. What you gonna do with that now, Joe? Like,
hey, hopefully Amazon can take it back.
man, that's tough, yo. That's tough. I like the move for the Spurs. Ultimately, man, you know, you got Chris Paul over there. Chris Paul probably only gonna be there for the remainder of this year. Then he probably done after this year. So they got their point guard. They still got Wemby. Is Pop good? Is he back? I'm not even sure if he's back yet.
I don't think he's back.
Okay. Whenever Pop is back, I think their situation will be solid. The Kings, I like Zach LaVine as a player. I really do. Now, y'all looking like the Sacramento Bulls right now with, you know, LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. You know what I mean? But y'all got other pieces there that can make things work, like you said, to keep you afloat. And y'all got some first round picks that y'all can use as trade options going forward as well. So I don't think it was a terrible move for either of the two teams. I think, like you said, it keeps the Kings in the hunt. I mean, DeMar was just killing the Wolves the other night. So credit to y'all. Still got a team that can make the playoffs and, depending on the matchup, win a first round series potentially. But it just sucks, man. Y'all got DeMar this offseason, and I'm thinking y'all gonna take off. You know, y'all got these pieces. De'Aaron Fox, the franchise guy, and this goes down, man. Halfway through the year, it's tough. But I think y'all will be all right. I'm happy for the Spurs. Sad for y'all. Happy for the Spurs.
And AJ, I know you do 4 Wolves take. You cover the Timberwolves. Did you know the Sacramento Kings and the Timberwolves, the road team has won the last 10 games?
All right, I knew as you were saying it what you was gonna say. Yes, bro. That has been a wild series this year. It's been a wild series this year. The Wolves, they got to get it together too. They was on a 5-game losing streak now, or 5-game winning streak. Now they're on a 2-game win streak. So, or 2-game losing streak.
Yeah.
5-game win streak, 2-game losing streak. Get it right. Get it right.
I know. But another team in California made a big trade too overnight. Everybody was asleep. If you're not a part of the chats, become part of the chat. Because when the news broke, we were in the chats until like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like we was in there just talking about the whole trade. But we talking about Luka. Luka going to the Lakers? Crazy. So there was a big trade, middle of the night, that nobody expected. And I don't have the full thing with me. I think I took it off. But for what I remember, though, I know that the Dallas Mavericks, they ended up trading Luka Doncic, y'all, Max Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Lakers. That's what the Lakers received. And the Lakers, and they in return, they get Anthony Davis and a first-round pick. And then the Utah Jazz in the mix, too. They got some guys and all that stuff. But no disrespect to Utah, but we not – y'all awarded to the NBA.
Right.
All right. So, AJ, I know you kind of got some mixed feelings. Some are like, dang. But some are like, whoa, let me throw my shades on because the future is bright, right? So, AJ, what's your reaction on this trade?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Quick little story time before I get to the trade. So I'm chilling with my wife. I'm watching TV. You know, I'm chilling. Normally, when I'm with my lady watching TV, I put my phone off to the side. I flip it upside down, so I, flip it on his face so that I don't see any texts or any phone calls coming through. Because it's time for me and my lady to bond. You know what I mean? We get done watching, our show and whatnot. She going to the kitchen, getting ready, get ready to go to bed and whatnot. And I flipped my phone over, and I don't know if my guy is watching right now, but my guy Anthony, like, man, y'all just got Luka. Now, if you know Anthony, my guy Anthony, he's a jokester. All he's do is joke. That's all he ever do. So I get like slightly annoyed, like, bro, why are you playing on my phone, bro? Like, I don't have time for this. Like, what? Like, come on, bro. But before I respond to him, I'm like, man, let me just go on Twitter and see if it's true. Let me just double check. It's no way this is true. Lo and behold, I see Twitter exploding. Lakers got Luka. Lakers got Luka. I'm like, yo, wait, this is real? Then I see a tweet with the actual trade and see we traded AD. And it's like, it's like mixed emotions. It's like I'm initially thinking we got Luka, Bron, and AD. But then I see we traded AD in the process. And it's like, oh my goodness. But as a Laker fan, bro, one thing I can say about the Lakers, which is why I always say we will always be relevant, Joe. We're gonna always get a star. It don't matter the ownership, it don't matter the GM, it don't matter who's in town. We're gonna always get a star to come play in LA, whether it be via free agency or whether it be via trade. I know there's a lot of things being said about Luka right now as far as his conditioning and if his head is in it, and it's just a lot of stuff being said. I don't know about what's true and what's not, but what I do know is this man was just in the finals last year. What I do know is he just ran through the Western Conference dang near on one leg last year. He was playing out of his mind. What I do know this year is he was averaging like close to 29, like 9-9 this year. Before he got hurt with the calf injury. I'm guesstimating the numbers right now. Somewhere around in there, 28, 8 and 7, somewhere around in there. But I know he was balling this year before he got hurt. And so I'm looking at this like, if I'm the Lakers, right? Of course you don't want to get rid of AD, but you got to start thinking about the future. Bron and AD, that combination had already got you a championship. You knew at this point it wasn't going to happen again. We just kind of knew that with the team presently constructed, we wasn't going to win another championship anytime soon. So you got to start thinking about the future because AD is not getting younger. LeBron's not getting younger, and he's going to leave pretty soon. So what can we do to improve for the future? Not for the now, but in the future. When the Mavs call and say, look, we want to offer you Luka, there's not a piece on the team you don't give up for him. That includes LeBron James. If I'm being honest, bro, that includes LeBron. Luka's who you want. Who you want. The Lakers, even though it's a risk because we don't know what the future holds for Luka as far as everything that, all the off-the-court stuff that they say is an issue, we don't know. But what I do know is the Lakers had to take this chance. They had to take this risk. The risk is so much lower than the reward. I feel like it's insane. So I ultimately love the move for the Lakers. I hate the fact that we had to let go of AD. I think AD has gotten disrespected over the years. Even myself, I've thrown a lot of shade not disrespect. I've thrown a lot of shade at AD over the years because of injury issues. Because one game he might go for 30 and 15. The next game he might go for 15 and 5 in a crucial playoff game where we need him. So I've thrown a lot of shade at AD too at times. But AD is a baller, bro. Our best defender. He's a guy that we counted on in big time moments as well. He's a big part of the reason why we won that championship in 2020. We don't win it without him. And so I'm going to miss AD. But like you said, Joe, the future is bright, bro. Luka, arguably the best player in the league. I'm not going to say he is, but it's debatable. Given what we saw last year, might be the best offensive talent in the league, especially with the money on the line. A straight dog now in LA. And last thing I'll quickly say, I think the combination of him and LeBron for this year and maybe next year, I think it's going to be dynamic. I know a lot of people don't think that that's going to work because there are two ball dominant players, but I think those two guys going to figure it out. And I think LeBron is okay deferring at this point. He was trying to do it with AD. He was trying to defer to AD, but AD just at times picked and choose when he want to show up. The truth. I think LeBron will have no problem playing a little bit more off ball, relying on cuts, getting to the low block, and scoring from there, making plays from there. I think this duo is going to be nice. I don't think it's championship ready right now. You got to add another piece or so to the front court. But overall, man, I think the future is bright for the Lakers. I love the move. Sad AD had to go. Wish him the best in Dallas. But I can't be mad as a Laker fan. It's a good time to be a Laker and an Eagle fan, Joe. That's all I'm saying, man. It's a great time to be a Laker and an Eagles fan, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say it for real. Like with the LeBron and Luka, the only thing good I can say about the pairing is that when you are great and you're playing with other greats, it elevates your game. So automatically, so and this is the first time LeBron James will be playing on a team when he's not the best player for sure. Like there's no debate. Luka is the best player on the team. Luka, shout out to J-Mo, he said Luka one of them ones. You can't just trade somebody like that. So Somebody go buy Nico Harrison a coffee or something. Give him a present, like a gift, and say thank you, because that was a gift he gave y'all.
I might have to do it myself, man. I might have to send him something. I don't know what I could do, but I might have to do something, man. We definitely appreciate
It's good for the NBA too.
For sure, definitely.
Before you go, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We talking George Mikan, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Luka Doncic.
And all of the other supporting pieces that they got, like, you know, AD
Davis,
and Lamar Odom and Russell Westbrook, Pau Gasol, like all the other little pieces that help to win championship. James Worthy. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
being a Laker fan is not difficult. That's what I say. I'm glad I jumped on board at an early age 2000 when Kobe was there with the fro. I'm glad I jumped on board then, man.
It's crazy.
But Joe, you know what time it is, man. We got. It's time to talk about the bowl, man. It's looking like I can't even get the flag fully. I'm gonna have to just throw it on. Forget it, man. I got to, Joe. Man. We gotta talk about the Super Bowl, Joe. The Birds is in it, right? We got some questions to answer today, man. Obviously, we know it is the Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs. And a lot of questions have been out there. But a question I have for you, Joe, and I have the answer to the question, because I know how this game will be decided, Joe. But the question I have for you, and I'm hoping you have maybe a similar answer, maybe not, but a similar answer. Joe, what or who will decide the outcome of the Super Bowl this year?
I got like a two answer to this. First, the defense. That's important. I look at all three games from the Eagles, all three games from the Chiefs. You look at the Eagles, obviously, the defense. The defense forcing turnovers, giving the offense extra possessions, playing like the offense playing with a lead the whole game. The defense, right, for the Eagles. We know that. Number one defense, too. They've been leaning on their defense all year. The Chiefs, you look at the Texas game. CJ Stroud, move the ball. They ain't turn the ball over. They'll move the ball downfield, and what happens? They stall out. They don't get in the end zone. Move the ball downfield, they stall out, don't get in the end zone. You look at the Bills. The Bills were scoring. But when it came for them to get a stop, who made the stop? The defense. And they gave their quarterback the ball to close the game out. And who's going to determine the game? For the Eagles, it's Saquon Barkley. And it's no shade to Hurts, but it's going to be Saquon Barkley, right? And we all know for the Chiefs, if the Chiefs win, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes is going to be that guy. We talked about this off air. I think on air too. He's a guy that if you're going to beat him, you got to do it. You can't like hope that he's going to not do it. You got to make sure you put a nail in the coffin. If you Josh Allen in that situation, you got the ball. So if Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley in the office got the ball in a situation when they can go down and score, don't leave no time on the clock. I don't care if it's 13 seconds. Don't leave no time on the clock. Put the nail in the coffin and score a touchdown or a field goal if it's going to win the game, and don't give him the ball. But if Mahomes got the ball at the end of the game, or if it's a close game, because he won every game this year when it was less than one possession. So if it's close, Mahomes will be the reason why the Super Bowl will be a victory to the Chiefs. So I'm going with that.
One thing I want to dispel this episode, maybe within this first topic. I brought it up last episode. I'll bring it up again now. Joe, I'm sick and tired of hearing people say, you got to be perfect to beat the Chiefs. That is not the case. You do not have to play perfect ball to beat the Chiefs. The 49ers are in position to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. They did not play perfect ball. But what did it come down to, Joe? A 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 in their red zone. Brock Purdy has to get the ball out to his receiver wide open, but he can't because Spags brings a corner blitz that gets to him before he can get the ball out. They settle for a field goal. The game goes into overtime. Patrick Mahomes finds a way to get the job done. In the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl against the Chiefs a few years ago. The Philadelphia Eagles did not play a perfect game. But at the end of the day, what did it come down to, Joe? A last-second drive by Patrick Mahomes to get them in field goal range to kick a game-winning field goal. If you go back and you think about the Super Bowl against the 49ers, Joe, the score was like 10-20 in the fourth to start the fourth. These boys go on a crazy run to end the game and beat the 49ers to get their first Super Bowl. So I'm not trying to hear that you got to play perfect football to beat the Chiefs. That's not what you got to do. What you have to do is execute with the money on the line. They are the absolute best at executing both offensively and defensively with the money on the line. You know, Spags got to play for the defense that's gonna make something happen, or at least put them in position. With the money on the line, we know Patrick Mahomes has something in mind, whether he's running the ball or getting the ball to Kelsey or one of these other playmakers that's going to get them a first down, extend a drive, or score a touchdown. With the money on the line, we know Andy Reid is going to draw up the perfect play for those guys to execute. But everything in the middle, before that, it's all kind of mistakes made from the Chiefs and the other teams. So you don't have to play perfect. And that leads me to this ultimate answer. I'm going to shock you, Joe. You know who going to determine the outcome of the Super Bowl? Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is going to determine the outcome of the Super Bowl. Because I believe that our defensive coordinator in 2022 determined the outcome of the Super Bowl. And that's no shade at the Chiefs. It's no shade at the Chiefs whatsoever. They won the game. They got a big-time special teams return at one point to put them in the red zone. They were in the corn dog play twice on us and got a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes moved the ball up and down field. They got everything they wanted against us. In the first half, we played spectacular. In the second half, you could see the difference between the coaches. Our defensive coordinator, Gannon, just was not ready for what the Chiefs had in the second half, and we couldn't get – all we needed was one stop the whole half. Just one. And the Eagles more than likely win that football game. One complaint that we heard from Philadelphia Eagles players after that game, coach didn't even put us in position to make plays. That's how they felt. Their play calling was so bad, they weren't even put in position to make plays. There's a stat out right now about Vic Fangio against Patrick Mahomes. They say Vic Fangio is 0-8 versus Patrick Mahomes. 0-8. And I've been seeing this stat everywhere, and I'm like, yo, like, let me look into this stat, bro, because this is a crazy stat. How you 0-8 versus Pat? So I'm going to look. I want to get the context behind it. Joe, do you know in them games, he was the coach of the Broncos, or at least defensive coordinator, and the coach of the Dolphins. You know in those games, they scored offensively between the two teams, the Broncos and the Dolphins. 6 points one game, 3 points another game, 16 another game, 16 a game after that, 9 points one game, 24 points another game, 14 points, and 7 points after that. Offense wasn't giving you nothing besides the game where they scored 24. Offense wasn't giving you nothing in these games. And on top of that, the Chiefs scored 6 defensive or special team touchdowns in those games, bro. So not only was your offense not putting up any numbers, but the defense also was scoring. Special teams was also scoring, making it tough. Do you know Vic Fangio, going off of the same numbers, bro? Vic Fangio against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs averaged 21.6 points a game, bro. On average. So I got to say this. Vic Fangio, if you put us in position, that's all I ask. Put us in position to get crucial stops, because I trust the personnel in ways that I'm not even sure I trust the personnel in 2022. I trust the defensive personnel from the defensive line, the linebackers, the safeties, the corners. I trust them. Good play calling. Put them in position to get crucial stops. Put them in position to force turnovers. That is all I ask. Give the offense an opportunity to win this game. Mm-hmm. Keep them around 21 to 23 points. Give us an opportunity to win this game. Because I promise you, if they're kept within that range, Eagles gonna win this game. Eagles gonna win. If you limit them to 21 to 23 points, Eagles gonna win this game. And that's honestly how I feel, because I feel like Jalen Hurts with the money on the line, Saquon, AJ, this personnel on offense, when they need to, they will make the plays to win the game. I believe that. They will run the clock down if they need to win the game. But the defense, starting with Vic Fangio, the play calling got to be on point. And the last thing I'll say on this topic really quick is this. People forget, Vic Fangio can help us on both sides of the ball. He's got all of this tape on them defensively and offensively. People forget Vic Fangio helped us game plan for the offense in 2022, not the defense. He did not help our defense. He helped our offense game plan against Spags in the Super Bowl, and we dropped 35 points. Now in this game, you could do the same thing. You know Spags. If anybody knows him, it's Vic Fangio. And that experience going into halftime, this is what I would do. This is what I believe they will do. I think that hurt us so much in 2022. We had a really young coaching staff. Nick Sirianni was still young at the time, and so was Gennick. He was a first or second year defensive coordinator, and they ran circles around us in the second half. I think the experience of Vic Fangio and his play calling is going to determine this game.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see. Vic Fangio. I like that answer.
Yes, sir.
So the next question we got is this. A famous question. Mm-hmm. Who has the most to gain? A win in this game. So AJ, we'll kick it off with you.
Joe, I've been going back and forth on this for a good minute, bro. I feel like you know where I'm gonna go, but this is where I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I almost had to flip the question. I almost had to put the question in reverse to come up with the answer for me. Who has the most to lose? I kind of had to flip it for that to come up with the answer. Because when I think about the Chiefs, bro, unless you're going to tell me, and we had this discussion off record, we probably touch on it again for this show. Unless you're going to tell me that Patrick Mahomes winning this Super Bowl is going to make him the GOAT, I don't think he has the most to gain. Because I ultimately believe that Patrick Mahomes is going to get this opportunity again. Maybe not a 3P opportunity, but he's going to get an opportunity again to go to the Super Bowl and get another Super Bowl win. It is as close to a guarantee as any player has of getting to the Super Bowl in the modern day era. They're going to be back. Andy Reid and those guys, they're going to be back. So I kind of, in a way, had to take them out of the question because it's like, yeah, 3P is great. Don't get me wrong. Maybe Andy Reid, you can make the argument for him. Maybe somebody will say Andy Reid is the GOAT. But then I just don't think they have a ton to gain because they're already legendary. I'll go to the Philadelphia side of things. First person that came to mind was Howie Roseman. But Howie Roseman already gets a ton of respect for all of the rosters that he's built. 3 Super Bowls in 7 years, right? You know, if he wins this year, to be 2 Super Bowl victories in 7 years, 3 basically completely different rosters, especially on defense. But he already gets his respect. He already wins Executive of the Year. I think he's already a Hall of Fame GM, right? So how much more can he earn, right? I think about Nick Sirianni. He's number 2 on the list for me. Nick Sirianni, I'm like, man, he would get a ton of respect. He'd be placed in a lot of different conversations, right? But the way I think about the Philadelphia Eagles as an organization, man, you could win the Super Bowl next year. They could fire you 2 years down the line if they don't like what they see. That's just how they move. That's what they basically did to Doug Peterson. Same can happen here. Even with a Super Bowl win, it's not like a situation like the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. He wins the Super Bowl, and it's like we go hold on, wins a few Super Bowls, and we go hold on to him for a lifetime, no matter what happens. That's not how Philadelphia moves. So even though he has a ton to gain, I'm not sure if he has the most to gain. And then I think about Saquon. Man, who don't have respect for Saquon? Playing behind this offensive line, 2,000 yards, putting up record-setting numbers in the playoffs. Most people think he's the offense right now. And I agree. Saquon Barkley is the engine that drives this offense right now. He's that guy. So, like, yes, the Super Bowl would give him a lot. But the most, he's already got respect. He's already probably going to be a Hall of Fame back when it's all said and done. I think Jalen Hurts got the most to gain, bro. When I put it in that context, I think Jalen Hurts may have the most to gain. When you think about his resume and what he has done, Joe, I'm about to say something extremely controversial. Extremely controversial. And I know it's going to sound like a homer thing to say. It's going to sound like, you're the biggest Jalen Hurts fan ever. How could you? Da-da-da-da. Joe, I think if Jalen Hurts wins this Super Bowl, especially if he wins Super Bowl MVP on top of it, we're gonna start putting him in some interesting conversations. We're gonna start putting him back in that top 5 quarterback currently conversation again. I even think if he wins this Super Bowl, I think he might be building a Hall of Fame resume, Joe. As crazy as it sounds, I'm not talking about skill or talent. I know you're trying not to laugh at me. I'm not talking about skill or talent. I know it sounds crazy, bro. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not talking skill. I'm not talking talent. We're not saying he Aaron Rodgers. We're not saying he's Patrick Mahomes. We're not saying he's super talented. But when it comes to how much he has won, when it comes to the fact that he's already been an all-pro player, he's already been to multiple Pro Bowls. He's been to now 2 Super Bowls before he turns 27. With a win, that's now 1 Super Bowl win. He's 1-1 in Super Bowl appearances. Undefeated in Philadelphia. He'd easily go down as the greatest quarterback to ever play for Philadelphia. He'd be the first franchise quarterback that I can tell you trying not to laugh. He'd be the first franchise quarterback to win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. And on top of that, Joe, I know the passing numbers aren't immaculate, but the rushing numbers, I mean, the man is 3rd all time right now, worse than touchdowns behind Josh Allen and Cam Newton. And in rushing yards, he's 13th. He's behind guys like Elway, McNabb, Aaron Rodgers, Steve McNair. I mean, these guys are pretty much done. And he's only, 400 to 500 yards behind Fran Tarkenton just to get in the top 10. I think that will put him at 9 before the age of probably 28. I think he has a really good chance at cementing himself right now in the league, gaining a lot more respect, not only nationally, but locally. And I think if he wins this, man, I mean, think about where we put Russell Wilson. 2 Super Bowls. Yes, the passing numbers are different, but 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl loss. He did it with an elite defense and an elite running game. Think about Eli Manning. Now, Eli Manning got 2 Super Bowls. So, like, this is why I say you got to build on it. You can't just end it right now. But Eli Manning got 2 Super Bowls. And in the 2 Super Bowls he has, he beat the GOAT, Tom Brady. Right now, you go in that pat. Russell Wilson, he beat Peyton Manning. Like, those small things also matter. The opponent that you're going up against. So when you combine the wins with the numbers, with the accolades, I low-key think that Jalen Hurts has the most to gain by winning this Super Bowl, Joe.
AJ, I disagree with you, man. I like the angle you took, but I disagree with you.
My bad for interrupting. Your face the whole time was making it hard on me, bro. I was like, I know when I say this, he gonna be like, bro, I know, bro, but my bad. Go ahead.
When you said gonna be controversial, I didn't know where you were gonna go. But here's the thing. I see what you did. You took an angle where it's like everybody around Hurts gets respect. So therefore, Hurts should get the most respect if they win. Because he's been getting dirt thrown on him the whole time. And if they win with him and he wins Super Bowl MVP, all that stuff y'all been saying about him, now y'all better put him up to the top. I get that point of view. But Saquon, if he walk away from the game today, he ain't no Hall of Famer. There's a debate about that. If Saquon has an opportunity to be in the same season, 2,000-yard rusher, have the most rushing yards in NFL history in one season, playoffs and regular season combined, Super Bowl MVP, he's a Hall of Famer right there. Boom. Hall of Fame, put him in there. So Saquon has a whole lot to gain. And then I look at Hurts. You say he's building a Hall of Fame resume. It depends on
emphasis on building.
It's
building.
The word building is like it's like that's the word, right? Building. Because I mean, so if Brock Purdy won last year, he's building the resume?
Not the same. Brock Purdy don't have no all-pro nods, and he don't have as many Pro Bowl nods.
Brock Purdy didn't win all-pro last year?
No, I thought it was
Dak and
Mahomes.
It was that.
Yeah.
But Brock Purdy would have been in the league for only 2 years. And in his first year, he got to the NFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. His second year, get to the Super Bowl. And if he wins Super Bowl MVP, that resume right there is probably that's legit. Off Bucks, you do this. But I would never say he's been a Hall of Fame resume, not just yet. And the reason why I say Hurts is tricky is because he legitimately has 1 year when he was considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And that was the All-Pro year. But outside of that year, he wasn't considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, like, his first time being a starter, he made it to the playoffs, overachieved, but he wasn't considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Last year, started off good, but then when they fell off, by the time they lost to the Bucks, he flew out the top five. Remember, like people had him in the top five, then he flew out. Everybody
they had him
like,
number one for a good minute.
Yeah, like people respected Hurts, you know. But now Hurts is known for like he wins. That's like his motto now. Like, oh, he win games. And then this season, y'all, he had his moments, but y'all been driven by Saquon Barkley. So he wasn't a driving force for y'all to get here. So that's why I want to say because when Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, we want to talk about he didn't have an All-Pro. I'll give you that. But me personally, I wasn't talking about he's building a Hall of Fame resume. It wasn't until after the Legion of Boom left, and then he started balling. Like offensively, the Seahawks started becoming a offensive first type team, and then he was always in the MVP conversation, but he just never finished the job off. So, and then now I don't think he's Hall of Fame right now. You know, he has to do something else. As a quarterback, yes. I mean, he got one Super Bowl, and that's it on his resume for real. If you think about it, he don't have nothing else. He does have a Super Bowl compared to two of them, but that's it. So, but my biggest game though is Saquon Barkley. I think it's Saquon Barkley for sure because he will help y'all finish a job y'all couldn't finish the other year. He's the missing piece. He comes in here and changed the whole game for y'all, literally. And he's been y'all best player through the playoffs, which is crazy. I know Hurts was good. You know, Hurts was good. You could probably say Hurts was probably your best. I mean, it was a whole team. That whole team went crazy. But Saquon tipped it off. Like the Commanders had that long run, got a field goal. He just scored in the first play, bro. Like that was crazy. We saw what he did against Green Bay. We saw what he did against the Rams. Oh my gosh. Against the Rams, he went crazy. So I would say Saquon has the most of the game. But we talk about who in totality, it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs have
the Chiefs team.
Yes.
Okay.
They about to make history if they win, AJ. This is unheard of. We talking about a 3-peat. I think we are downplaying it so much because it's the Chiefs. We talking about a 3-peat in the NFL. Nobody has done that since the Packers doing the first two Super Bowls of the last championship. Like, that's the last time that happened. They won the championship game, then the Super Bowl era happened, then they won the first two Super Bowls. That's the last time somebody won 3 straight years. That's ridiculous, bro. In the NFL? Come on, man. And then on top of that, look who they beating, AJ. Name all the best teams in this Chiefs era. All of them. The Ravens, the Bills, the Eagles, the 49ers. He slaughtered all of them. The Bengals, all of them. And believe it or not, to put the cherry on top, I said this on the R2L show. No, I said it on the backstage. It's hard to do a 3-peat alone, but I honestly believe this is the best team the Chiefs has faced since Mahomes has been here. Like, since Mahomes has been in the league, I'm talking about since he dropped in the league as a rookie, this is the best NFL team that he's faced. I'm talking about across the board. So if he caps off his 3-peat by beating this team, he will be the first team. No, dang, they lost the last game of the season. They messed it up. They could have been the first team to win 16 games and win the Super Bowl. They could have been the first team to ever do that. Could the Patriots win 16 and lost? I don't think a 15-1 team ever won. No, I think that'd be the first 15-1 team. I honestly think I gotta look it up. But and then some people will say he's the GOAT. I won't, but some people will put him in there as a GOAT. Because when Jordan won 3, everybody put him past Magic. They put him past Kareem when he won 3 in a row. So I think the Chiefs totality, but we talking about player. Come on, man. It's Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry.
I think when you say if we talk in totality, it's definitely the Chiefs. Like in total, if we talking like the complete team, I'm thinking we talking individual players or individual people. If we talking the whole team, it's the Chiefs because the 3-peat is history. Like it's never been done. It may not ever be done. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna ever be done. A little spoiler alert, but if they were to do it, it's probably never happening again. Like that's probably never happening again. And so that history, obviously, you have the most to gain. They could go down. Some people would think they're the best, the greatest dynasty of all time. That'll be a debate. And Don't get me wrong. I think Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and those guys have things to gain for sure. I just look at it from the perspective of, do we believe they're not going to get here again? There's a chance, and I'm an Eagles fan. So, of course, I'm going to say I believe we're going to get there again. But there's no comparison. The Chiefs have a greater chance of getting back here again than the Eagles do. I think that's just facts. Even though the Chiefs have greater competition in their conference. It's Pat. It's Andy Reid. Like, even if they lose this year, it's gonna be like, all right, they probably get back the next year. Like when we beat the Patriots in 2017, they went right back the next year and won. And it was just they moved, bruh, and they just moved right on, kept on winning. Like, all right, that was fun.
Hey, real quick to cut you off. I think I understand where you're coming from. Like the Chiefs are here. Like, how much higher can they? How much more can they gain?
Exactly.
You know, you looking at it from like they are all Pat already been talking in the GO conversations. They're already a dynasty. So how much more are they gonna gain? The only thing they're gonna do is they're gonna make history. I get that, but we still gonna respect them kind of the same way.
Like if they lose the Super Bowl, ain't nobody changing their opinions on the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy. Even if they go out there and they, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we know this won't happen. Let's say they go out there and they lay an egg and they just play terrible for the first time ever in the Super Bowl. They played terrible for 4 quarters, bro. Is anybody really gonna think much different about the Chiefs, bro?
Nah, no. More respect to y'all for real.
Like it's gonna be respect to us, but people gonna be like, I think people gonna be like, man, the Chiefs gonna be so hungry going into next season. They're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. They're gonna get back. We go out there and do the same thing. People like Eagles done. They never going back. Jalen Hurts ain't the guy. Like everybody is going to like, especially it's one thing to lose. It's another thing to get blown out. You know what I mean? You get blown out. It's like, man, people gonna be talking about the Eagles like they ain't even belong in the Super Bowl, right? And so that's how I'm looking at it, man. It's like the Chiefs have an opportunity. The individual players, now the Chiefs organization has the opportunity to go from here to all the way up here. You know what I mean? But the player, Pat Mahomes, right now to me has a chance to go from here to here.
Yeah,
it's not a huge. Andy Reid, same thing, bro. He got a chance to go from here to here. Like, but when I think of Jalen Hurts, I think Jalen has a chance to go from here to here, bro. Like, I think he has a chance to make a leap in the conversations that a lot of people never thought he would be in. I'm talking from an overall like resume conversation and from, you know, just a top 5 conversation in the league right now. I just think the whole conversation around him changes.
I honestly don't think he'll be in the top 5.
I think this is the thing, bro. When you look at it from this perspective, and I don't want to disrespect any other quarterbacks, bro. But if he goes to the Super Bowl, and I don't know if he's going to play like how he did in the last Super Bowl. That was crazy. But if he goes to the Super Bowl and he wins this game, and it's not Saquon Barkley that does it, say Jalen Hurts is the reason, like you could point to him and be like, yo, Jalen won the game. He played lights out, didn't turn the ball over, and he came out and he won them this game, and he's Super Bowl MVP. It's going to be hard to keep him out, especially when you look at Lamar Jackson has had a similar opportunity. He ain't been able to do it. And they last year, they was held to 17 points, Joe, the Chiefs. Defense showed up. He didn't. That's just the truth. You look at Josh Allen, he got a chance to melt the clock down and get a win. He failed to do so. You look at Joe Burrow, he's struggling to get back into the playoffs, right? Like when you look at the elite guys that you put over him, yes, you would still have them over him. But after those elite guys, bro, who you gonna say Stafford better? You gonna say Herbert better? From a talent perspective, yes, you're always gonna say them players are better because it looks better, and I respect that. They have better arm talent. But my bad, I'm just gonna get this last.
No, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
But like to win the game, money on the line, we need you to play well. I think a lot of people are gonna have him in that probably 5th spot in the NFL.
Probably. See, the thing, Hurst is like it's sad to say, he's in like a lose-lose because, like, if he does play well, people will say it's because the attention's on Saquon. You know what I mean? So he's gonna lose credit because how good his team is. It's just keep it real. But I'm gonna ask you this though. This is why I think it's gonna be Saquon. If they lose, nobody's gonna kill Saquon, but they're gonna look at it like, dang, like even though y'all had a 2-week break into the Super Bowl, people gonna bring up the fact that y'all took a rest and he didn't go for the record. They're gonna bring that up. They're gonna say it was a wasted season. Like they're gonna talk about how good his season was, and y'all went all the way there and lost. Hurts, you said how much he gonna lose. how much more is he gonna get killed than he is right now? Like, for real.
That's fair, too. That's
I know
fair,
our
too.
game kind of put him back up to like the positive side of things. Our game
Mhm.
did, but if y'all lose, it's gonna be the same old. It's gonna be the same old song. Like Hurts gotta be. It depends on how Hurts play though. If Hurts don't
Right.
play, if he plays mediocre, then that's gonna be the case. But I doubt he plays mediocre. But I think like if the game would have lost and everybody plays well, Saquon will be. Everybody would feel bad for Saquon. Literally, like, dang, wasted season, 2,000 yards. He could have broke the
Mm.
record, but they sold it for a Super Bowl and he didn't win a Super Bowl. But like Hurts, it's gonna be. He has to play terrible for people to kill him. Like if he plays bad, if he plays good, they lose. They're gonna just chop it up to the Chiefs. Literally, it's gonna be like, yo, it's the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's
can't
true.
get mad at the Eagles for losing to the Chiefs, bro. Like, I mean, we just saw
That's true.
Josh Allen do the same thing. We just saw Lamar do it last year. You know, like, come
That's
on.
valid.
So
That's
that's how
valid.
I look at it.
I just look at it, and I want to get back to something else that you said before we move on to, I believe, the last two really quick. I respect the take, the Hall of Fame thing. I respect the take because you don't have Russell Wilson as a Hall of Famer. You probably don't have Eli as a Hall of Famer either. I would
See,
assume.
if Eli's in it, it's only because he beat Brady twice.
Twice. Yeah, I
And he
get that.
stopped the one good thing about y'all winning this, y'all will be stopping the three-peat.
Mm-hmm.
Because Eli gets a lot of credit for stopping that undefeated season. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
At
So
all people, Eli Manning.
I respect that. I think a lot of people do have him in that or not MVP in that Hall of Fame conversation because Russell Wilson has a solid resume. I know Eli is iffy, but I think that if Jalen continues to play well and continues this trajectory of playing well, winning games and winning playoff games, even if he doesn't win another Super Bowl, you'll always be able to look back and be like, all right, so later on in his career, he did this, and this. But then you can't forget about the fact that he won a Super Bowl. Like when they talk about Russell Wilson, they're going to talk about all of the stuff he did without LOB and all that. But it's always going to go back to, and he got a Super Bowl, and he got a Super Bowl MVP. So that's what I'm saying. You could set by winning this and winning Super Bowl. I don't know if he will, but winning this and winning Super Bowl MVP could really set him up to where you got now on the resume, you got an All-Pro nod, you have a Super Bowl ring, you got a Super Bowl MVP, you got one of the highest win percentages of anybody in the history of the game if you continue at this trajectory, and you got great rushing numbers, bro. He's going to finish with great quarterback rushing numbers. I know some of it will be tainted because of the tush push. I know that. But rushing yards going to be there too, which is going to make it hard. If he continues to do this, I think that's why it's like he's setting himself up. That's what I think. He's setting himself up.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you, because his rushing, he can arguably, based on the stats. I heard somebody say that. I listened to a podcast. He said he's arguably the best rushing quarterback in NFL history. I'm like, I mean, the numbers might say it, but come on, it's Lamar and Michael Vick. But like the numbers, if somebody was just look at the numbers, you can make a Hall of Fame case of he's the best running QB in NFL history. He'll be a Super Bowl champion. But if he gets the Super Bowl MVP, that's big.
It's huge.
There are not a lot of minority quarterbacks who wins Super Bowl MVP. There's not. Eli Manning did win it twice. Yeah. But outside of Eli Manning, I can't think of the last quarterback who won a Super Bowl MVP, and you looked at him like a pedestrian. So, and on top of that, back to your top 5 conversation, if he wins Super Bowl MVP, AJ, he might be that 5th spot for real, because Matthew Stafford, when he won the Super Bowl, people weren't considering him being top 5 because Cooper Kupp won MVP. Matthew Stafford didn't win MVP, so he didn't even get all the credit. And the Russell Wilson, the reason why I didn't have him in the Hall of Fame conversation because he didn't win Super Bowl MVP.
I thought he did. Who won that MVP then?
I mean, he lost. I mean, the defense. Somebody on the defense there. I can't even think who it was. Carl, help me out. Somebody on the defense won, bro. Like,
I definitely thought he won the Super Bowl MVP. I'm corrected.
Nah, it was a defense. The defense.
Okay.
Held the number 1 offense to 8 points. It's crazy.
Malcolm Smith. Oh, it's not. He did. Yeah. He did. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So
that's what I'm saying. Hurts gotta have that. It's almost like you gotta have that though. So really, given his passing numbers.
If he gets that, AJ, he might go on my top 5 for real. Because I respect Super Bowl MVP. I respect winning the whole thing and you being the reason. I respect that, and that's why I'm high on Jordan. He won every time. Him and LeBron, they're the only two that won every time 4 times or more and won MVP every time in the championship. That's why they my 1 and 2.
That's fair.
So we know who number 1 is. But I'm with you on that though. It's another topic.
Hey, I appreciate that. I didn't know you was gonna meet me there, but okay, cool.
I can see it because now I'm thinking about Super Bowl MVP. I'm like, okay, I give props. I give credit for Super Bowl MVP.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Joe, we're gearing towards the end of the show. We got 2 more topics. This one gonna be a quick one, man. What is your prediction? Who do you believe will win this game? And if you want to, you could transition right into the keys to victory for the team that you believe will win this game.
Okay, so who I think is going to win is the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, AJ, if that's a shocker to you. I'm pretty sure it's not. But my keys to victory for the Chiefs, I'm going to make this real quick. Number 1, keep it close. Keep it close. That's the main thing. The Chiefs are on a 17-game win streak. 17-game win streak on 1-score games. The only game they lost this year was the Bills game, and the Bills had to win by double digits. Josh Allen rushing TD to go up by 10 to seal the deal. That's my point number 1. Point number 2, be great in one-on-one coverage. Because what's going to happen is the defense, they're going to put people in the box to contain Saquon Barkley. That's what they're going to do. If they don't put people in the box, they're going to have eyes on Saquon Barkley. So you're not going to see a lot of double team. You're not going to see a lot of safety help. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one situations. That's how it is for the Eagles. So A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, they're going to have a lot of opportunities when they're one-on-one, and that's when the Kansas City Chiefs DBs got to step up and beat that one-on-one. Like when it's a one-on-one situation, they got to win that matchup because it's going to be a whole lot of situations when A.J. Brown on the go ball, A.J. Brown on the quick slant, and you're gonna have to stop that basically. And last but not least, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Dave. He reminded me to bring this point up. Blitz Jalen Hurts. Blitz him. Sorry, got to. All right. This is a stat from Dave Shepty. He sent me this.
Dang, bro. I was hoping you wouldn't read this off because I saw it, bro.
You did? Shout out to Dave. He was like, hey, Joe, you could use it. I'm like, I would. Okay, I could use it. I saw it. I could use it. Jalen Hurts splits when pressure versus when he's in the clean pocket is insane. That's the message said today. Out of 37 quarterbacks when pressure, he is 37th in success rate, 37th in EPA per attempt, 33rd in QB sack rate, 32nd in QB yards per attempt. That's terrible. And Kansas City Chiefs, he told me this too, are 6th in defensive pressure rate quarters 2 through 4. So, they try to fill you out in the first quarter. See how you going to do. And out of nowhere, they up the ante. But that team they played against the Chiefs when Hurts went crazy, that was an average defense. This defense is much better now. Some of the same players.
It was a young defense too.
Some of the same players, but they grew up now. They 2-time Super Bowl champions now. You know what I mean? So those are my 3 keys to success.
All right. So, and the crazy thing about that Hurts stat is actually better than it's been in years in the past. Him against the blitz, he actually improved the touch from what he's been, bro. Just want to point that out. But number 1, let's start on offense because I talked about the defensive side of the ball before. Number 1 on offense, you got to stay ahead of the sticks.
Yes.
Spags will send the blitz, but if you really watch, he gonna send that blitz on 3rd and long, 2nd and long. He have a hard time sending that blitz if it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, because the whole playbook's open. He don't know what you're gonna run. But if you don't get ahead of the sticks on first down and you take a sack on first down or a loss of yardage on first down and 2nd down turns it to 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, oh yeah, the heat is coming because he know you in the obvious passing situation, right? So my first tip for the offense, stay ahead of the sticks. My second tip is an obvious one. No turnovers. Even if you got to punt or take a sack, no turnovers. You don't want to give them any extra opportunities, any short fields, anything like that. This defense is so elite. The same way I'm calling on Vic Fangio to put them in position offense, y'all got to put them in position too. Don't give them a bunch of short fields. Special teams, tackle. That punt return in 2023 in that Super Bowl was outrageous. Put them right in the red zone. Simple stuff like that, right? But put them in position, put the defense in position to where the Chiefs got to travel the whole field instead of 30, 40 yards, right? So that's my second tip for the offense. And the last tip for the offense is be who you are. I don't care how the game went. I just had a whole segment talking about how if Jalen Hurts wins Super Bowl MVP, then he'll be putting these categories and he's building to. Truth be told, I would love it as a Hurts fan. I don't care that much. Win the game. Get that ball to 2-6 as much as possible. Get that ball to 2-6 as much as possible. Even on second and long. Hey, man, they sending a blitz. Halfback screen. Get them out of that. Run the ball sometimes on them downs. Right when they think you passing it, we're going to hand it off to Saquon. Because at any point, Saquon could take it for 60. One play I keep in mind when I think about the Eagles this season, there was one play, I believe it was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, where Jalen Hurts got sacked on like 3rd and 15. We was getting ready to end the half. And there was like 20 seconds left. They expecting us to pass, to get closer to the end zone. And Hurts dropped back, hand that mug off to Saquon, and Saquon took it to the house. It's like, I didn't expect us to run. I don't think anybody in the building expected us to run the ball right there, but we did. He got the first down and a touchdown. Stuff like that. Do not be afraid to hand the ball off to Saquon, even in situations where it's not advantageous. Even in situations where, we expect him to pass. No, get the ball to Saquon. Give him as many opportunities as possible. Don't shy away from the run game. People say the Chiefs have this amazing run defense. These first 2 rounds of the playoffs, I've seen running backs have their way, averaging 5-6 yards a carry. But the problem is the teams don't stay dedicated to the run. Run the ball. I'm not trying to Saquon rushing for 100 yards. I'm not trying to hear, dang, they held everybody to under 100 yards. This is Saquon Barkley. Give him the ball as much as possible. Defensively, I think the biggest tip I could give, besides what I said about Big Fangio, putting these guys in position, get to Patrick Mahomes. Get him to the ground. And do it strategically. We know he like to do the extra flopping stuff and get the calls that way. I ain't talking about the refs, but that is a thing when it comes to how you sack him and stuff like that. Just don't do nothing extra. I'm talking to you, Jalen Carter. Don't do nothing extra, bro, because we know every now and then you could be a little over the top. All right? Just sack him, clean sack, get him to the ground. Get as much pressure on him as possible. The one Super Bowl we saw him lose was that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. Yes, he didn't have his entire offensive line, it seemed like, but they were able to get constant pressure on him all game long, and they made it tough. A big part of the reason why we lost the Super Bowl in 2023, we couldn't get no pressure, bro. I ain't talking about the field and all that. This defense had 70 sacks, and we couldn't get one sack when it mattered, bro. One sack changes that game completely, especially in the second half, right? It didn't matter if it was first down, second down, or third. One sack changed the whole game. And so the biggest tip for the defense, you have to collapse the pocket and get to Patrick Mahomes. That's my biggest tip. If they can do that, and this offense runs the ball effectively, and Hurts makes the throws when he has to make the throws, I believe the Eagles win this football game. And for the people out there that say the Chiefs, you got to play perfect, listen, bro, as an Eagles fan that knows how the Eagles play and knows how the Chiefs play, I'm telling you right now, if we come out and we score a touchdown and the Chiefs go 3 and out and we punt the ball the next possession, I'm not going to be nervous because you don't have to be perfect. If the Chiefs come out and they score a touchdown and we do a 3 and out and we got to punt the ball, I'm not going to be nervous because we don't have to be perfect. There will be opportunities to win this game. Take advantage of the opportunities to win this game. And every Chiefs game, you have a window to win it. This team is built to take advantage of those windows. So I got Philadelphia. And you know what's crazy, Joe? I've been going back and forth on this. I think the Eagles win this game by 10 points.
You're going to have to.
I think the Eagles, exactly. I think the Eagles win this game I think the only way we win it close is if we get the ball last. That's the only way, bro. If we manage to somehow, let's say we got a 7-point lead and Patrick Mahomes come down and score a touchdown, but we get the ball with like a minute 30 left or a minute left, I feel, okay, we have a chance to go win it. But I think we could win this game somewhere around, I'd say, 22-33.
22-33.
I'm sorry, 23-33. Somewhere around in there. Dang. I think we could put up points on this defense because I think we'll be able to run the ball. I don't think Hurts is going to be as spectacular as he was the last Super Bowl. I don't, because I was just out of this world. But I do think he's going to have a really good game. I do think he's going to have a very productive game. And I'm expecting, Joe, this is the number one defense in the league, bro. They're going to have to show up. Because if we lose this game, it ain't going to be, I'm telling you, it's not going to be on the offense. Vic Fangio, he got it. If Vic Fangio show up, bro, we going to win this game. If he shows up, we are going to win this game.
I got my score, Chiefs 27-24. Now, look, I do got some keys, though, if you don't mind me real quick. Two keys.
For the Eagles?
One for the Eagles, one for your offense, one for your defense.
Okay.
For the offense, when you get in the red zone, get in the end zone.
Go for it.
Get a touchdown. Make them pay for letting y'all get there. A lot of teams set up for field goals or get out of field goal range. So finish the drive. When y'all get past that 50, finish the drive. Because y'all kicker be shaky too. Finish the drive. And for y'all defense, an underrated thing. On third down, stop the boy legs, man.
Yes.
Stop his legs. Y'all talk about Jada Daniels. This dude right here, Mahomes, stay extending drives with his legs on third down. Always. So those are two things that's gonna be big that I will be watching.
I also want to say this, Joe, when you bring up the kicking, something I forgot to say, but I'm glad you brought it up. You know, one thing that concerns me about this game, bro. Not only do they have the best kicker in the league and our kicker is shaky, bro, they have mastered the art of blocking kicks, bro. Like they be blocking kicks, bro. Like that's one thing I'm a little nervous about. Like our special team's been a little shaky this year with the kicks and whatnot. Our kicker already be missing even the easiest. He be missing extra points from time to time. So it's like, bro, if the game come down to a last second field goal, I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be like, yo, not only
in the back of his mind, he know that too. That could bother him,
bro. Not only do I need you to, not only am I thinking about him making a kick, but for the first time ever, I'm really thinking there's a possibility they can block this kick, and that's something you don't think about. But with the Chiefs, like I've seen it a few times, like they be blocking kicks, bro.
Yeah.
So like, it's gonna be one of the things on watch. I'm like, oh, because you know they gonna get close. You know they gonna get close. So,
and look, we don't want to hear no crying about the rest. So
there's a reason why I didn't even bring him up.
Thank you, man. Because I mean, like he was still. I'm like, yo, I ain't nothing about the rest.
I didn't, because at the end of the day, Joe, if we do our part in that last Super Bowl, we win the game, bro. We win the game. It's on us. I think.
And I thought they scored a touchdown at the end of the game.
No, they got the flag on Bradbury, and then after that they ran the clock all the way down and kicked the game winning field goal. And then they kicked it back to us, and we did the little Hail Mary stuff or whatever. And they won 38-35. So
that was crazy. I remember that.
Oh my god, 24. I think it was 24 straight points in the second half, bro.
Yeah, they y'all kind of they scoring every drive.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, Joe. Teams be in position, bro.
But you're right, though. Even that Super Bowl, bro. That Super Bowl, remember they came right downfield and Kelsey scored on the first drive. I was like, but then y'all ended up taking the lead.
Yeah, like we got the first touchdown. Then they got the second touchdown.
Oh, y'all got the first one.
We got the first. JJ Hurst did like a two splits into the end zone for the first touchdown. Then they came back and they got the Travis Kelsey touchdown.
They came right down to it. It was like boom, boom, boom.
Then we slowed them down. We scored a touchdown after that, and then we gave the ball back to them. Forced the punt, got the ball back. Jalen fumbled 14, but then we scored 10 unanswered, and I'm feeling good. I got my adult beverage at halftime. I'm feeling good, and then we had a complete, and credit to them because they just out schemed us. They did whatever they wanted in the second half. Really, they ran the ball a ton too. They outthought us in the second half, bro. That's why I'm glad we have experience this time, bro. I'm glad we got Vic because I think it's going to be harder to pull that off with Vic as the DC. I think he's going to play a pivotal role, man.
If y'all lose this game, man, it's going to hurt for you.
Bro, I'm going to say this. It's not going to hurt it's not going to hurt as much as 2022.
For real?
Nope.
I feel like with this team, you like, I know it's a Chiefs. I'm not saying you should win. It's a Chiefs. Yes. But like you should feel like more confident. Like, yo, they beat us.
This the thing.
And this team made much better.
Bro, this is the thing. I think for me, I have been bracing to get to the.
I got you.
So before the playoffs started, I was bracing myself for a potential L because I'm like, all right, if we see, and it was Detroit who I was bracing myself for. I believe we're better than Detroit, but if we see Detroit in Detroit, there's a chance we could lose. That I was mentally bracing myself for that. But the first round against the Packers, we gotta win this game. I'm gonna be super hurt if we lose in the first round. Second round against the Rams. Remember, I said pencil us in for the NFC Championship. I'm gonna be hurt if we lose to the Rams. And then y'all beat the Lions. So I'm like, we cannot lose the Commanders. We cannot, under any circumstance, we cannot lose to the Rams or to the Commanders. It cannot happen, bro. Under any circumstance, we gotta win this game. I don't care how.
Okay, who get hurt? Okay, what happens? We can't lose this game.
Not lose this game, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I feel that. Yeah.
Behind the scenes, and I won a Super Bowl, but behind the scenes, I was more so like, man, I'd rather lose in the Super Bowl than lose to the Commanders. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
That's bruh. I'm like, no way.
Come on now.
Bro, no way we lose to them. But this Super Bowl, bro, I think my confidence was so high in 2022. Think about it, Joe. We had Jalen Hurts had an all-pro season. AJ Brown close to 1,500 yards. Devontae Smith 1,100 yards. Our linebackers was playing at a high level. TJ Edwards and Kaiser White was playing at a high level at the time. We had a defensive line that had 70 plus sacks, bro. We had 2 all-pro corners. First and second team, bro. We had a safety in CJ Gardner-Johnson who was leading the league in picks. Bro, we was stacked. And so I went into that Super Bowl on the highest of highs. I had the mindset of there's no way we losing this game. There's no way we losing this game. That's why I say I was more hurt than, especially how it ended.
Okay,
because my confidence was so high. This year, don't get me wrong, my confidence is high, but I just experienced what I experienced. Yeah. Like I feel like we are the better team, especially on paper. I feel like we are the more complete team. We the better team. But it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I'm gonna be watching that game like geeked, but I'm also gonna be bracing myself like we could lose this game in ways. In 2022, I'm like, we winning this up to the bitter end. We winning this game. We gonna get at least 1 sack and we're gonna win this game. We had 70 in the regular season. We're gonna get at least 1, Joe.
I know.
Didn't happen.
And the one y'all needed, he ran for like that right in the middle.
Bro.
That's still the deal. That was
so that's why. Yes, bro. That's why this one I am confident, but I'm not going into it like, of course, naturally you're gonna be hurt, but I'm telling you, Joe, 2022 was bad for me, bro.
I feel you because you built yourself out. I feel you built yourself out. But this is a tall task because although I feel like y'all had the overall better team, but these dudes going for a 3-peat.
I know.
It's gonna be hard to beat these dudes, man. Like you said, you're gonna have to win by 10 points.
Yeah.
I know you said we get the ball last. I don't know you get the ball last. I don't know.
I'm hoping that's in a close game. Best case scenario is we have the same opportunity that the Bills had. Best case scenario.
Oh yeah.
Best case scenario. Because I trust us. I trust Jalen and Saquon and our playmakers in that situation to ice the game, bro.
Yeah, they do the ball three. They do the ball 3 straight times.
You know we handing it off. You know we giving the ball to Saquon and try to ice it. So I trust us in that situation. But yeah, and on the flip side, before we get off, I know the Chiefs are going for a 3-peat, and I know they already beat a team that they've seen already in the Super Bowl in the 49ers. But like you said, Joe, this is the best team the Chiefs done played, like maybe ever. And this Eagles team, man, I know I'm an Eagles fan, so it's gonna sound like homerism. Bro, them boys look hungry. Like they look determined. Like they look like, yo, we not losing this game under any sort. We gonna win this game. Nick Sirianni making adjustments. The experience of losing to them before, I think, is gonna help them a lot. So they going for a 3-peat, but don't sleep on the team that's trying to stop the 3-peat because they won the Super Bowl and you got us before. And it was this close, bruh. We can't forget it was this close. Ain't like they smoked us. So we gonna see, man. I'm excited. Man.
Let's get it, man. Can't wait. We got 5 more days.
Yes, sir.
5 more days.
And they can't. It's all I've been able to think about, Joe. We need to get to Sunday, bro. That's all I've been able to think about.
2 weeks, golly.
Man.
6:30 or 5:30 Central Time. All right. Yes, so my last words. Great show, AJ. I know you was pumped up for this episode. So shout out to the whole Artois network. Shout out to the whole Artois family. Shout out to everybody that's watching on 4 Timeout also. Timeout or 4 Timeout. Mm-hmm. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to all of our members. We appreciate y'all. And yeah, man, the Kings, we talked about y'all already. Commanders go to work this all season. And that's all I gotta say, man. Ready for Sunday.
Yes, sir. Oh, speaking on this real quick. Carl said he's surprised nobody brought up the fact that Mahomes only had one incompletion in the second half. Mahomes is ridiculous, but I do want to say Pat got like 5 interceptions in his Super Bowls. Nobody talks about that. Like he not flawed. Now he didn't have one against us, unfortunately. But every now and then Pat turns the ball over, and this defense has been turning the ball over quite a bit. Like they in a rhythm. I don't know if it's gonna happen this game, but
did he throw one last year? I think they were really from the first one against the 49ers.
He threw one in the first half against the 49ers.
Okay,
I remember because I remember in the mic'd up after the game, like the players was on the bench, like he regular, he ain't like that. And then they lost. Yeah, man, they should have shut up. That is terrible on the mic'd up afterwards, bro.
Y'all know it's gonna be on NFL Films, man. Come on,
bro. Right. They was talking. I mean, it's a Super Bowl though. Emotions running high. They was talking crazy. He regular. We gonna show him he regular. Like, dang, okay. But then towards the end of the game, he was like, "Come on, y'all, please."
That's how the Falcons were against Brady. It was talking crazy.
Taunting, running into the end zone, all that. But my final words, man. First off, shout out to the Lakers for making that big time move. I'm you know what I'm saying, we talking Eagles. This is Super Bowl, and it's been hard to lock in on them right now. The Lakers, that is. But shout out to y'all. I said a move needed to be made. I didn't anticipate this move. Big time move. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to everybody that made that move happen. Even Nico. Shout out to Dog too. He helped make it happen. So shout out to him. Obviously, shout out to R2L family. Shout out to everybody watching on my channel, Time Out or Full Time Out. Appreciate all of y'all love and support. Appreciate everybody that tuned into this episode. Eagles, man. First thing I want to say is this. I'm proud of y'all for getting this far. I'm going to be real. I won a Super Bowl, but y'all have made me proud this year. Y'all have made me proud. Y'all have made me look like a prophet this year. Because I called y'all going to the Super Bowl, and even though it was dicey at times, starting at 2-2, things was looking ugly. Is Sirianni going to keep his job? Is Hurts the guy? What's going to happen? Saquon and his offense took over, and his defense played lights out for the rest of the season. So I applaud the Eagles for making it this far, getting into the Super Bowl. I'm grateful to be an Eagles fan. That's just 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Joe, I'm grateful to be an Eagles fan. And to say I've been an Eagles fan since I was a young kid. So I'm thankful. But it's time. It's time. Joe, I said it last episode, and I'm saying it again, bro. This is the opportunity we have been waiting on to get revenge, to not only win a Super Bowl, but to get them guys back. Stop them from getting the 3-peat and get our second Lombardi, bro. I need a game from Jalen Hurts. I need a game from Saquon. I need AJ and Devontae to do their jobs. I need the offensive line to do theirs. I need our defense to step up, get turnovers, make stops. Even if you don't get turnovers, get some punts, get some big-time fourth down stops, make plays, give us a chance. And again, last but not least, coaching staff, a big part of this is going to be on y'all. And it's going to be on halftime adjustments because Andy Reid and them boys are the best in the business during the Super Bowl halftime. We have seen it now in 3 Super Bowls. Nobody adjusts like them at halftime. They are spectacular at it. I need y'all to put y'all minds together and figure out how to proceed for the rest of this game, man. Let's go get this second Lombardi, man. Let's go get it done. I'm going to be out with my flag on, with my dope beverage, and we going to be lit, man. We going to be lit, man. So those are my final words, man. Like usual, I don't know if I can say this today because I'm a little phased. We in the bowl, man. I'm a little nervous. So I'm a little phased. You know what I'm saying? But for the purposes of the show, man, I know Joe unfazed, so I can say we remain unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.